Hello, welcome back once again to CBSE Board Economics. I am Saddam Hussain. Since your board exams are very close, another couple of weeks left for your board examination, I'm 100% sure you're all doing wonderful preparation, the last minute preparation or 11th hour preparation. You're burning midnight oil. So no relaxation for hard work. Do as much hard work as you can till the last exam. Once the exams are over, relaxing, no rest, not even a single second. Now, as the boards are approaching, we keep on giving you some important questions in the board exam, which are likely to come for the board exams. So today we'll discuss one important topic, one important question from the board's point of view, that is equilibrium level of income, employment and output. What exactly is equilibrium level of income, employment and output? What conditions are required for it to achieve equilibrium level of income, employment and output? There are two approaches for this. One is called ADAS approach, aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach, or we can call it also as C+I approach, that is consumption plus investment approach, that is aggregate demand approach. What exactly is equilibrium level of income, employment and output? To start with, you can divide this answer when you write in the exam into three parts. Number one, when there is equilibrium level of income, employment and output, AD should be equal to AS. We will be giving you in detail. Number two, second part, if AD is greater than AS, that is aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply, how it impacts, what effect it has on the economy, on income, output and employment. Number three, if aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand, how it impacts the economy, what effect it has on output, income and employment. That we'll be discussing in three parts. It becomes easier. So the first part is intro. The equilibrium level of income, employment and output is arrived in the economy when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That is, the total demand for goods and services in the economy is equal to total supply of goods and services. AD is equal to AS. Or we put it this way around, the total expenditure in the economy is equal to the total output. Or we can say this is the planned expenditure in the economy is equivalent to planned output. Or we can call it as plan in economics. In French, we call it as ex-ante. Ex-ante, plan. Ex-ante AD is equal to ex-ante AS, supply. In simple words, if there is demand for 100 cars in the economy, the supply should be 100 cars. ED is equal to AS. That is, the first intro you write it, the economy will be at equilibrium level of income, employment and output when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That is, the planned expenditure in the economy is equivalent to planned output, or the aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That is, what people are demanding is equal to what the supply comes in the market. So there's no excess demand, there's no excess supply, both are equal. And the second point, if aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply, if there is demand for 100 crores in the economy, people are ready to spend money for 100 crores and the supply is only 80 crores. That means AD is more than AS. That means the planned expenditure in the economy is more than planned supply. That means there is a scope in the economy to produce more. We can increase the output. Automatically, when you increase the output, employment level will go up. More people will be employed. When the employment, when the employment level is going up, automatically the output will go up, income of the people will go up. So all will move in the same direction. Output, employment and income, they will go up, and the gap between AD and AS is being bridged and they become equal at the equilibrium level of income, employment and output. AD is equal to AS. And the next come to the next point. If aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand in the economy, aggregate supply, if there is a demand for 100 cards, like I told you, if we are supplying 150 cards, it leads to excess supply. It leads to unsold, unwanted stockpiling situation. The inventories in the economy will go up. The producer will get losses. As a result, what happens? Decrease the output, employment level will come down, and income also come down until the point AD becomes equal to AS. So at the equilibrium, both will become equal. AD is equal to AS. Before the equilibrium point, AD is more than AS. As a result, inventories will come down because whatever the stock is there in the market, it will finish. Inventories will come down. If you go beyond that point, inventories will pile up. So that's very simple. So put it in the exam how to write this question. It's a very, very most important question. Probably there won't be a question paper without this question. I repeat the answer, then I'll explain with the help of a graph. The economy will be at equilibrium level of income, employment and output when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. At the planned expenditure in the economy is equivalent to planned output. That's the planned AD is equal to planned AS. First point. Second point, if planned expenditure, the AD is more than AS, then what happens? Income will go up, employment level will go up, output will go up till the point AD becomes equal to AS at the equilibrium level of income, employment and output. Inventories will come down here, diminish. If aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand, that means people are not spending money but there is more supply, automatically output will come down, income will come down, employment level will come down till the point AD becomes AS. So conclusion, the economy will be at equilibrium only when AD is equal to AS. You cannot have equilibrium level of income, output, employment anywhere else in the economy, only when AD is equal to AS. This we can explain with the help of a graph. See, now look at this one. We'll make a graph here. Equilibrium level of income, employment and output. AD-AS approach. The second approach I'll be giving you in the next one. So we can see it here. So now we'll explain. First let's make the graph here. So we'll go ahead with the graph. So this is your x-axis and y. Oh, sorry. Remove this one. Okay, right. This is your x-axis, and then you have this is y-axis. So on the y-axis, you write it in the exam also. We take AD, that is C plus I, consumption expenditure plus investment expenditure. On the y-axis, this is zero axis, you have output, comma, then you have income and employment level. So we'll take this one, this is, we're just taking it here. So this is, we'll take guiding line, this is, we call it as 45 degrees line. This is, we call it as aggregate supply. This, you write it as, this is your 45 degrees line. Now we'll take one more aggregate supply, we'll take it, I'll take it another, right? Okay, so now we take it here, this is AD, that is C plus I. See these two curves, this is C plus 1. So you can see it here, both these intersect, this is the point here. Both these are intersecting at this point, what is happening here. So you can see it here. This is the equilibrium point. I'll be explaining you this one. At this point, you can see it here. AD is equal to AS. Okay. Before this point, we'll be explaining you. First, follow this AD line. AD is greater than AS. That means here aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. So you can write here, inventories deplete, come down. After this, I'll be explaining you at OQ level of output. After this, ASC is greater than AD. Stockpiling of inventories. Stockpiling of inventories, you can say here. So this is, if you want here, we'll put it for you. This is here, you can say inventories. Stockpiling of inventories, and here they deplete here. Okay, this is the point here, E. Equilibrium. Okay. Now look at this one. I'll explain. I'll go off the screen here. Okay, this is we can explain it with the help of a graph here. Okay, you can see it here. On the in the exam also you write it like this. The first point you write it on the x-axis, we got output, income and employment. On the y-axis we got aggregate demand, that is C plus I. That's the first point. And then you write second point, the economy is at equilibrium at point E, where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. There is a planned expenditure in the economy is equal to planned output. That is ex-ante. That's people what they are expected to spend is equal to what they are getting it in the economy. That means if there is a demand for 100 cards, the supply is also 100 cards. That's a point E by producing OQ level of output. On the x-axis you can see this. So on the x-axis we got output, income and employment. On the y-axis we got AD, aggregate demand, C plus I. This 45 degrees is a guiding line. That is called income line also. This guiding line helps us to find out the equilibrium level of income, employment and output. If we don't have this guiding line, we won't be able to find out whether the AD is more than AS or AS is greater than AD or equilibrium ASD is equal to AS. This is a 45 degrees line. That's the guiding line that will help us. But AD curve never starts from zero, because we already know autonomous consumption, because there has to be some minimum consumption in the economy and minimum investment. That's why AD curve always starts above the O axis, that's zero axis. Okay, now we come to this one. E is the equilibrium point where AD is equal to AS. The equilibrium level of output, income and employment is OQ. You can see on the x-axis. If we see before OQ level of output, AD is greater than AS. As a result, inventories deplete. That means they are getting finished. If aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply, there is scope in the economy to increase the output, income, employment level. We'll move towards it. Here, there is a scope here. You can increase the output. There is a possibility here. We can increase the level. You can go like this. Output will increase, employment, income will increase, because there is a scope here. This gap we can being bridged here. There is a scope here being bridged till the point. If we go beyond this, then this will come back like this. Here, there is a here, because if we go beyond this point, then what is happening? There is a stockpiling. Aggregate supply is more than AD. Stockpiling, so they will get losses. They'll reduce output, income and employment. Simple 3 points here. Number one, E is the equilibrium point where AD is equal to AS. Okay, before the equilibrium point, AD is greater than AS, inventories will deplete. So as a result, output, income, employment level will go up. The gap is being bridged. AD becomes equal to AS at the equilibrium. If you go beyond that point, AS is greater than AD, stockpiling situation will come down. That's all, right? Easily you explain. I explain once again. Explain the equilibrium level of income, employment and output. So 3 points remember. Equilibrium means state of balance at rest. At the equilibrium point, AD is equal to AS. That means the planned expenditure is equal to planned output. Okay. And second point, if aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply, there is a scope in the economy to increase income, employment and output till the point AD becomes equal to AS. If you go beyond that point, AS is greater than AD, it leads to stockpiling situation. The producer will not be able to sell their goods. As a result, income, employment, output, everything will come down till the point AD becomes equal to AS. So the economy will be at equilibrium only when AD is equal to AS. That's all we have time for this video. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like and comment. Definitely write some comments in case you have any difficulty or you want to ask any question. Definitely will answer your queries because the board exams are close by. If you have any queries, please do ask. No problem, absolutely free. Comment on our videos. Keep watching the other videos too, including shorts. Till we meet next time. Goodbye guys. We wish you all the best. Don't neglect your studies.